the difference between men and women and how they manifest things is men are typically more external, in regards to the 3D. You notice how men, typically how a man operates is that they're more physical, doing manual stuff, more on the outside doing things like physical, you know, type things. It's like that's how a man usually operates spiritually. You'll notice that in a man like that they would, in any man, we're more action oriented as opposed to females. They're more passive and they're more like laid back, kind of go with the flow, taking it easy. The thing is that it's not the case all the time. It's not always the case. This is about energy. This isn't that, oh, this is how men or women are only. No, it's how they typically are predominantly. Predominantly, like, but you'll notice that, when it comes to, I believe actually when it comes to making money, that men or women both, help each other make more money in terms of intimacy. Because think about it. If a man is usually external focused on the 3D, that's where they're conscious most of the time. In a male, energy, their conscience is focused on the 3D. It's all about action, all about doing, But then when you look at women, it's mostly about feeling. They talk about in law of assumption how feeling is the secret. So I think there's a balance between feeling and doing. If a female nature is more feeling and male nature is more action doing, male nature is more material. That's why the word female, feeling, male, material. So if you really think about it as a man, you may be lacking that feeling aspect. You get what I'm saying? The feeling. If you're trying to manifest something, you need the feeling and the action. Feeling and the material have to be in a balance. So, you gotta most people are more into the material, the action, doing, but they're not feeling. They're not in that state of being and that feeling of having that desired outcome or whatever, having the goal or money achieved. Like, men kind of have to be in the feeling, or they need that feeling. And I think when a man is with a woman and they're being together or intimate, I think that it enhances a man's ability to feel like his manifestations are forming. It helps men to be more in that feeling state, I believe. That's what I believe personally. It helps men to be more in the feeling state, so that they're already doing the action in the material, but them having the feeling behind their manifestations just amplifies it. So I think that helps men see success quicker or have success quicker. I'm not saying that it's guaranteed that this is, no, it's just, this is just the typical way I think the world works. Is that men, their manifestations may come in quicker, may materialize quicker due to their feeling, their feeling being enhanced, like that side of their nature, that energy. This has to do with like yin and yang or stuff like that, but it's kind of it's a new it's a little difficult for me to explain it, but if you look at a female, they're more feeling. Most women are not too action oriented. Most women, you'll notice. Yeah, they can be, of course. But when it comes to the 3D, like they're more inclined to be in the feeling, you know, passive, not doing as much as, men do. But see, I think that not only do I think that, as a man, it can, being with a woman can help speed up your manifestations or whatever, or boost, you know, your energy to, attract more, I would say, abundance. It's kind of hard to explain it, but then like when a woman's with a man, I think it complements women too. It can, in a sense that it puts them more in a 3D state of mind, so where they're more doing now. They're now more action oriented, and you know it's blended, so to speak. So I think that if when a man and woman gets together, I think that it helps them. I think it attracts more abundance to both people. Considering that it balances their energies out, so that it's a reciprocal. It's like a balanced energy of feeling and the doing and the material, the action and the material in it. I think that speeds up their manifestations quicker. Personally, when man and a woman is intimate, I think that it speeds up their manifestations. I mean, it's many ways you could try to interpret this, and it's books on it. I mean, it's not a unknown topic, but it's 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 plainly obvious as well. You'll notice, like, as a man, if you were to get with a woman or be intimate with more women, you may manifest abundance quicker or make more money. It depends, though. It depends, because as opposed to not being intimate with a woman, I think that it might slow down your abundance, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's what I personally believe. And I mean, I don't think this is talked about. I think this is all very subconscious, and there's got to be a science behind this, but I still don't fully understand it. It's books on it, but a person would only know from experience that you know being intimate with a partner could boost your abundance. It could, in certain ways, depending. It's depending on various factors, but yeah, that's what I personally believe. And I don't know, I just don't hear many people talk about the subject much, but you know it's cool to cover new topics that no one else has talked about, even if it doesn't get views. I mean, it's whatever. it's whatever. But if it's for whoever is meant to see, here it is. And yeah, if you like the video, drop a like and tune in for more topics that I cover that I just don't hear anyone else talk about. Really don't. It's rare that I hear people talk about certain topics. That even if I get only a few views, it's like, hey, some of these topics I'm one of the first ones to even cover on here or even mention. But it's whatever, for whoever's meant to see it. And drop a like and peace.